Welcome to my channel. My name is Maxwell Uduapeme, your regular host of the use of R, or if you like, you say Rstudio, for data analytics. I am so excited to have you join me today, and I would like you to sit back while I show you two fantastic tricks. First, as you can see on the screen, you will need to, as I mentioned in my previous videos, one of the first most important things to do when you're dealing with R is to create a working directory. If you don't know how that is done, please check my previous videos where I explain that in depth. And today I want us to work with the data titled Accreditation Evaluation Staff 3, which essentially is a CSV file. So if I run this code by placing my cursor at the end of this code and hit and run, the working directory in this particular folder has already been created by just that. And so also, when I place my cursor at the end of this line of code, which is of course to read data into R, you use the read function, read.csv. This is because the file that we're dealing with in this case is a CSV file. So when I run that particular line of code, my data is imported from my device into our environment. Of course, you know, to view a data set, we can use to view the data, we use the view function, which is and then the data which I have just imported into this space now is ACC data. That's the name I assigned to it here. Now when I run this code, the data opens up all the way. Now let me go over to where I'm interested in. These are the responses supplied by these respondents. These are the item names which are in form of the column names. This particular list goes all the way down to over 300 of them. So what I want us to do now is to create first a data frame containing, let's say, about 6 of these columns, so that we can save time. So let's go back to our scripts. This is our script. So let's say I call it demo. Let's call this demo data. Assign variable name and say data frame, data.frame. We're using the data frame function, and the data we're interested in here now is ACC data. And then so we introduce the square brackets separated with a comma and create a column. Use the C function where I will call the names of the columns. Now we will pay attention to the even the cases that were used in the name. So I'll say this will be started in a quotation mark. So section, let's say section 1_01. This is the data. All right, so I will call up to 6 of them. Permit me that I will try to be fast by using the copy and paste mode. I'm not that fast in typing, so I think that's okay. So item 4, you separate each one with a comma, right? 5 and then comma, so I say 6. Now when I run this line of code, what we have is that a data frame has been created called demo. You can check it out by using the view function also. view demo data, right? So when we view demo data, you see that we have 6 columns from the ACC data as mentioned previously. This runs down all the way to 300 plus, as I mentioned before. Okay, we'll check this data for maybe missing values. So to clean this data, we'll say demo data, and we say underscore clean. Let's say CLN for clean. Assign variable name, and we say to clean. To clean data, we use the function na.omit for the data. So, and then we call in demo data into this space. This helps us to remove all the rows that have missing values. I will include a comment here: clean the data by removing all missing rows. Now that has been done. Okay, so having done that, the next thing we need to do now is to create frequency tables. Now to create a frequency table, let me show you what that means. Let's say table 1. We use the function table for frequency table. So table demo data, we're using demo data. Okay, before I do that, I can return the name demo data back to the clean version. So let's say demo data is the same thing now as demo data cleaned, so that it will be easier for us to use. So demo data, and we use $sign to introduce the rows. This will create for us, this code, when it is run, it will create for us a frequency table for section 1 alone. So let's check that out. When we do view, and then you say table 1, when you run that, you have your frequency table for table 1, right? So this is what is done. So we are going to do this for all the remaining I'll just remove this now. We're going to do this for all the remaining columns. So in order for me to be fast, I like to copy and paste. So this is table 2, and then the next table is, column is O2. Then the next, I paste table 3, and then the next I have 4. This is 3, and then this is 4. Then I get to 5, and then it's also 5, and so I land on the last one, which is 6, and this is 6. So I've gotten all 6 that I'm interested in. Okay, so I run this, and my tables, my frequency tables have been created. All right, so if you're enjoying what you have seen, if you are enjoying what I'm showing you, I would like you to leave me a comment in the comment section, as well as if this is the first time you are encountering my channel, please hit the subscribe button, and so that you can follow me and follow my content, and you will get the first opportunity to enjoy each and every of my content as soon as I upload them. Thank you very much. Let's continue. All right, so the next thing that we need to do is to create a function that will summarize these frequency tables that we created here. So to do that, we're just going to type in summary column, and then function. Then function is about the function we have created, or we are creating, is about columns. Then we open a wavy bracket. Then we populate the function with its columns, new columns that will be born out of other columns. So the first is that we need to note that we're having table, and the table will be picking the columns of the columns of the main data set, demo data sets, right? So after this, we'll need to create a data frame. So we use data dot frame function, data dot frame function. Now we will now create all of the columns that we have got. The first thing is I may want to call, let's say I may want to call the first column, let's just call it column. All right, columns. This should be the same thing as we need to disperse, so be careful of that spelling. Disperse. So disperse, we're using the disperse function, as well as the substitute function. Substitute function, right? And then we'll also use column names function. Call names function. Here we are going to tell the program to use the column name from demo data. So having taken care of that, that's the first column. Then we now label the other columns. Strongly agree, strongly agree. That's the second column. Strongly agree will be equal to table, we're using square brackets, table, and we're using quotation marks, so it's going to count wherever we have 4. This we separate with a comma. The next is agree column. This will be equal to same table. We're using a square bracket as previously, and quotation mark. Wherever there are 3, there's 3, it will give us the total count, and enter that under agree. Then we have disagree, right? This will be also table, square bracket, quotation mark 2, so it will give us a count of 2. And finally, strongly this, remember that we don't use a space for column name, so disagree, this will be equal to table square brackets quotation mark 1. Now we started creating a data frame. Some point, let me scroll down to be sure that so we have created a sum. So we needed to insert each of these column names in inverted commas, right? Agree, strongly agree, disagree, all of them in inverted commas. Having done that, one other point that we skipped is the fact that we need to call the libraries deploy R and tidy R. These are very important to this table creation. Next, we need to be sure that all the data are in numeric formats except for the column names. So demo data must be in numeric. This is the code for it. Apply, using the apply function. Demo data 2 is for column as numeric. And then also we need to make sure that the data demo data is a data frame. So making sure two things as numeric as well as data frame. Now, having done that, we then need to make sure that we say summary table, we bind the rows together in that we use the Lapley function, the select function, as well as the select function, all in the same row, calling the data demo data, and we instruct it to start with section 1 underscore. All right, so these are the column names that it's going to be dealing with. After then, we also make sure that it brings into the picture the summarized column for whose function that we created right over here. Okay, so the column names that we're going to use are also called using the C function. Okay, we're using column 1 all the way to column 6, as you recall that we use right over here. See, section 1, section 2 down to section 6. Okay, so when we are done with that, we need to now mutate the column to make sure that the column the column name, the column that will contain the column names, which we initially labeled here as simply columns, we could mutate that and label it as column names. If you don't want to do that, we can just change that right from here and remove this. But in case you will need to change a column name, that's why I have inserted this particular code. So we use the mutate function. All the column, the table name, and the table name again. Then use the mutate function under deploy R. Then you say column now is equal to column names. All right. Now we ensure that the summary table for demo data is what we have assigned summary table here for. Summary table that we created right over here. Okay. After that, we ask it to list the names of the demo data, the names of the columns that we have. You should list them. Name summary table wherever we have columns. You should assign column names. So at this point, when we view the data, we'll have the data and we will have the table created as we wanted it to be. So if I run this code, this is the table that has summarized and told us to tell us the number of strongly agrees we have in each column, the number of agreed, number of disagreed, as well as the number of strongly disagreed. Wherever you have NA, it means that there is no count value that is recorded over there. Thank you very much for being part of my video today. If this is the first time you have encountered my videos, please do well to subscribe to this channel as I'll continue to bring you more cool and beautiful content. Thank you very much. Bye bye.